Does anyone else ever have that thing where they're having a conversation with someone and they realize that they're the one doing all the talking, and yet for some reason you can't stop? And it's like your brain can't catch up with your mouth fast enough. So that was happening to me this morning when I was talking to Jesus. All of a sudden I just heard him go, stop, take a breath, and listen. Stopped, closed my eyes, breathed in his presence. When I opened my eyes, I don't know how to explain it, but the room visibly looked bigger to me. Like, obviously it was still the same room that I had been standing in the whole time, but I opened my eyes and I looked bigger and I felt smaller. And in my spirit, I just said, wow, Lord, it's so much bigger than I thought. I heard him say, room for more possibilities. There is more that is possible than you think. Isaiah 54, 2 and 3. Enlarge the place of your tent. Stretch up the curtains of your dwellings. Spare not. Lengthen your cords. Strengthen your pegs. For you will spread abroad to the right and to the left, and your descendants will possess nations and resettle the desolate cities. My pastor actually did a sermon on this passage recently. One of the common ways people read this is like, okay, we need to enlarge, so we need to go get something and make it bigger. But he said, it's not telling you to go get anything. It's saying, work what you have, enlarge what you have, enlarge the place of your tent, the tent that you already own, stretch the curtains, stretch them out as much as you can. So in other words, before the multiplication comes, we have to be willing to work what we have. You see this in the parable of the talents, where not everyone begins with the same amount, but they work what they have and it multiplies back to them. When you're faithful with a little, the Lord will make you ruler over much. So I was standing in this room in my house and just marveling at how much bigger it felt. And I don't have that big of a house, but at that time it felt so big and so spacious, but it was the same place. We need to have a perspective shift about what we think is possible. Your only limitation is whether or not you're willing to step out in faith and believe that the impossible is possible with God. Nothing is impossible to those who believe. We need to raise our level of expectation for how much the Lord wants to move in our lives. Our only part in the equation is to just simply have faith that He can and will do something for us. He's not asking us to go out and make it happen in our own strength. He's asking us to have faith that He can and will make a way. And all you have to do is just stand in faith and trust Him. And when He says move, move. And when He says stop, stop. When He says speak, speak. When He says, okay, move this over here or change that up over there. If we're just faithful to do these things that He's telling us to do, we're limitless. There is so much more that is possible for you than you might even be able to understand or comprehend. But when you give it to Jesus, He makes what seems impossible actually possible for those who believe. So be faithful to make the adjustments. Enlarge your tent, strengthen your pegs, stretch your curtains, lengthen your cords, and then watch God work. If you want to learn more, check out JesusMysterySchool.com and like, subscribe, and follow.